Bye.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Evercade podcast. We're early by 2 minutes. Woohoo!
Which means we're early by about 20 minutes.
Actually, it's exactly 8 a.m. here for me, so we're not technically early.
Nice.
Depends on your
Okay,
watch.
Pete's not early, but Ed and I are early.
Right. No, I just want to say, because I know
Like me and Crow, we start precisely when we mean to start our show, right, Crow?
I don't know. I always try to get you to start late.
Yeah, I know. You just talk my ear off in the pre. We should just show the pre-show to everybody.
Wrong one. No, I just want to say it because Rich isn't here, but he really had like a family thing he had to attend to. I know we always say that.
No. Yeah, this one is, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind you guys saying, hearing about it, knowing as Rich as well as I do. Yeah, he had his grandma passed away, so he's heading down south to
grandfather.
spend time with his grandma.
Grandfather, yeah. So he's flying back to Florida, so that's why he's not. That's why he's not here. Don't mean to start off the show on a sad note, but
Yeah, it is sad, but it's real life. It happens.
Yep.
So
alrighty.
go show
maybe
Rick
one
some
day
love
he'll be
on his
back.
latest video, because he's got like 10 videos up in the last couple days.
I know, right? I still got to catch up to like all of his like Lorcana unboxings and.
I might have him beat actually, which is weird.
Yeah, you guys are like kicking my butt on videos. I used to do almost a video a day back in the old days, and like now I barely get one or two out a week.
It's funny. Like since I started, I haven't missed like one a week. Even like when I've gone on vacation and stuff, I always put one to schedule because I don't want people to forget about me. No, but
Yeah, my weekends are turning into Evercade weekends. It feels like that's when I post Evercade videos on the weekend.
Nice. Yeah, we've got so much Evercade. So how are y'all doing?
We're doing
Good. I told Chet make fun of you for something you got. So we'll talk about that after. And I'm with you, RMGB TV. I'm with you. I think Good Boy Galaxy is an amazing game.
Dude, I know, right? Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. The new collections. What have you all been playing? I know we talked about that a little bit before the show.
Pico Interactive Collection 3.
Yeah, don't ask Crow that question. He's still in 2021. Maybe
I
2022.
I know. Good Lord, man.
Yeah,
I've
he's
only
like
played
so behind.
four games in that collection.
Yeah. I've been playing. I haven't touched the Duke collections yet. That's gonna wait till I'm on vacation. I've been playing. The two dual carts are amazing. And probably a game on each one of them could easily be in the game of the year category for Evercade, in my opinion. So like, yeah, Astro Bro is amazing.
Dude, that's because those games like go for like $15 to $15 each on Steam. So like you get two of them for $20. That's incredible, and a physical copy. Yeah, so much overload. No, you do have to choose to pick because like my methodology is when I get all the carts, I do all my poses for everything for the thumbnails, and then I open them all, do my first impressions, do all my unboxings while I have everything out. I'm like, I have to get that all out of the way because I want to have my first impressions, but then I'm like, yes, now I can play them once I've dumped that. And I had to limit myself because I've been playing the Duke 1, and I had to stop myself after the first level for Good Boy Galaxy because I'm like, ooh, if I got to pick what I get sucked into. Now, the only thing I do want to say, and I always say, like, PSA, check all your carts. My second Duke cart, the third game wouldn't load. There's
a few people saying, I just see somebody said that their Witch and Whiz cart is broke. That's Ross Cahote or whatever the hell.
When they say it's broke, what does that mean? That's broke.
I don't know. It's just probably not loading, I guess. But mine works so far, but I haven't tried them in the VS. I've only been playing on EXP. Now I'm worried my Dukes collection. But the best thing, if one of my Dukes does break, I do have my Atomic Edition, so I can hopefully one of those carts will work.
Nice. Yeah, I think somebody was it like Jason Shears or somebody said like their Duke 1, like Duke 3D, like the PlayStation game wouldn't load. And so for me on the second cart, the first one would. The second one, when it starts to load, you see like the FMV, and then it goes back to loading. It does load, but the third one just wouldn't, and it would lock up the system. And I tested both the VS and the XP. I emailed VGA. Ryan was cool though on Discord. He's like, yeah, you definitely have a bad cart. So
it's too bad that these quality control issues keep cropping up. Like,
yes. So while we're talking about that, another issue that I have with the Duke 3D is that right now it doesn't support save states. Like it'll save the state, but you can't load it, so you have to use the memory card. And I think some people were having issues with that. And then the other weird thing is that for me initially, Duke 3D, like it wasn't playable. And then some, a viewer in the comments said, "Hey, change the turn settings down to low," and then it is actually playable because you turn slower. So yeah, I just wonder how those little things were missed. I don't know.
I do that in every game though. Even modern games, I always adjust the turn rate of my, especially in first-person shooters on console and third-person shooters. I always adjust it lower because the joystick usually, like even old school games, had some type of assist on the joystick, and they tend to go way too quick by default. But yeah,
I don't know about how. I don't really like playing first-person shooters with a controller to begin with, so I don't know how that's going to work out for me.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you what threw me off is like on the Steam Deck, I already know going in, I'm going to have to like configure some things, change the battery life. For the Evercade, I literally just expect to like plug and play and map buttons and that's it. So I wasn't even like, I was like, really?
Yeah, I mean, at least there's a setting for that. That's less.
Yes.
That's not broken in my opinion, or that's just the way it ships normally on the PlayStation 2. So
yeah.
I'm just more concerned with, like, again, we got people who are having defunctive carts, right? And I don't think they can do anything about it because they're shipped directly from the factory, right? They don't get to test them, right? So that's on the factory not doing the testing.
And it wasn't like I wasn't able to fix it. In fact, I was trying to figure out how to do the factory reset, and I forgot that it was a menu option. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have complained about it.
But for collector's editions, though, and like that's like always like the paranoid, like if I need this to be replaced, can they replace? So. Yeah.
But like, unless they change factories, they're not going to improve that situation, right? So that's basically what it is.
Yeah. No, the only thing about why like Duke 3D I'm nitpicking on is because they specifically said that they did like tweaks and all that to make the PlayStation 1 version more playable. And I'm like, well, then if you played that, you would know with the turning high speed, like that wasn't playable.
Maybe they
have you tried it with an analog stick, like a controller with analog? Perhaps it might be better.
Yeah,
like 8-bit DOE. I'll try it with my 8-bit DOE when I open it because that's how I play my VS. I have an 8-bit DOE connected to it. So,
well, that would even depend on if Duke Nukem 3D on the PlayStation supported analog control.
I can't remember. I have the game here in my collection, as you can't see me, but I'm looking up at my place. I think I have Duke Nukem 3D because that's the one game I remember playing. I'll check anyway. But early PlayStation 1 games, first 2 years, there was no such thing as an analog stick on the PlayStation, right?
Yes. Yeah. But I mean, with changing it to slow.
Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta get my coffee. I gotta get my coffee. Be right back.
Yeah. You know what? I should. Well, Pete's getting his coffee. Let me say hi to the chat. Don't want to ignore that. Let me say hi to the chat here. So we got Lloyd JRM. Man, I can't even talk. Lloyd JRM.
Lloyd JRM.
Yeah, Lloyd JRM. I know I couldn't say that. We got Rusta. We got channel member Fan of Fiction. We got John Snyderman. We got channel member Domestic. We got archive gig footage SJK. It's like I forgot how to talk. We got Tuxo.
Speaking of tongues,
we got Nah. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to pronounce the rest of your name, and I apologize. We got Nah.
File. It's Fa Oil Li In.
Oh, cool. I was like, yeah, please feel free to attend.
I'm just guessing. I have no idea.
We got RMGBTV. We got Lemony Pie. We got Julian D. We got Tales from the Jundland Wastes. Got Ian Hobbies. And he made me hit the high note there. We got Skill Tricks.
Nobody made you do that but you.
Hey, I'm just feeling it. Oh, cool, dude. Cool. Hey, welcome to the Evercade family. Call him Nelligen. So again, I apologize if I mispronounced. But yeah, welcome to the Evercade
Nelligan?
family.
I would say Nelligan.
Nelligan, yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, welcome everybody.
Hello, I'm back.
Just got through saying hi to the chat and mispronouncing some things about it. So
It's a homebrew Timmy's. It's a homebrew Timmy's Toxo. Yeah, so who's new? Evening, guys. 47-year-old man who only found out about Evercade last week. Wow, cool. Well, you'll fit in perfectly with this group.
Yeah. And be sure to sub to all our channels so you can like find out about the latest and greatest like Evercade stuff if you haven't.
I don't like your subs. They give me the diarrhea.
Oh man. So yeah, what do you? Well, I guess Crow can't really answer because he's behind. But Pete, are you liking this overload of Evercade carts that we got all 4 carts and we can choose?
I could answer that question. No,
I think Crow's saying no. For me, the Pete of 4 years ago, when I was like headlong full bore, would have loved this time because it was like content. But now, as somebody who, like, you know, I kind of pace myself out with Evercade content. I'm actually, kind of wish it was less because I know Duke is waiting for me and I want to play it, but I'm having too much fun playing my Super Pocket. My Tato collection is still taking up way too much of my time. And I got the now Astro and Goodbye Galaxy. So the Duke videos might take a little while to come up on my channel just because. So it's mixed bag for me right now. Like, I kind of would like them to just go, you know, 1 card a month would be awesome for me. If they were consistent, that would be excellent. But yeah, I do love the dual cards. I knew I was going to like the dual cards regardless. Like, I knew that was my cup of tea, but I didn't think I'd love them so much. Like, now I'm conflicted because I don't know which one to play first. Finish Goodbye Galaxy, which I plan to do, or finish Astro Bro. Both are like super cool games. I don't know which one to play.
Yeah. No, I hear you because like Good Boy Galaxy I've known about for a while, and that was good. But the Dukes, I wanted to see like how polished they are.
You keep saying the Dukes, and I keep thinking of Trading Places.
Dukes. Yeah, Duke 1 and 2. We'll see. It was weird because when I went into like play that card, I did Duke 1 and then I dived into Duke 2. So it was strange like completing Duke 1. Now the cool thing, which is very common to PC games back then, is like they released them in packs. So like it says like there's over 30 levels, but like they're divided into 3 episodes. So that's kind of, you know, which is pretty neat. And like I think for me, like I've spent a little over an hour an episode. So yeah, getting your bang for your buck. And like the music is fantastic. I will say too with Duke 3D, like that PS1 version, like that music is fantastic. So he says Nah said we could just call them the Seagulls.
Oh, is that like
I don't know. You know what? The lighthouse of the Seagulls. Yeah. Okay, I get it. I guess maybe that's what that. Okay, call them the Seagulls.
Yeah, but I wonder if that's like I don't know what language that would have been for the Seagulls.
Okay,
Look,
I'll try to remember that.
Norwegian?
It could be.
Long drought and then 6 carts. Yeah, so it's interesting because like for me, I'm like I wasn't sure if I could pace myself, but I'm glad I could dabble into everything and then choose what to play. Although it does take discipline because I had that happen too, Pete. Because I was like stuck at one spot in Duke, and then I'm like, let me tap into Good Boy Galaxy. Then I'm like, let me just beat the first level because then since that is a Metroidvania, like I don't really want to get sucked in. Did you play through Full Void yet? If you haven't, dude, you got to do that.
That's gonna be on based on where I'm at now with the games and ones I want to really play. That could be a while off before I play through that because I don't know. I gotta be in a right kind of mood to play that kind of game for me. Like, dude, I don't know if I'll ever be in the mood to play that. Like, I mean, that could end up just being a shelf filler for me. Like, you know, like Worms 3 and the Delphine collection could end up just being shelf filler.
Yeah, well, I kind of feel like, hey, I spend money on these things. I gotta play it now.
Well, that's just that. At the end of the day, I value my time more than like my time is money. So, like, if I'm gonna have an hour a day to play a game, I'm gonna want to play a game and enjoy it. And I don't know if I'm there yet for certain games. So.
Into perspective, this is how much I'm behind at this
point.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, that's less than I thought you were going to be behind.
No, well, I have like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so 9, like 10 in my hand here.
No, so like kind of like the difference with something like Full Void is it's like sometimes you just want to sit down and like watch like a good show, a good series, a good movie, and kind of have an experience. That's what Full Void is. It's definitely an experience because once you complete it, you're probably not going to play it again. But it's like you want to sit down for a few hours and kind of have that good kind of like chill experience. Like the Dukes, I could see going back to after completing them. But that game, unless you just want to get all the achievements, then it's like or speed run it.
I don't tend to play games over and over again. Like once I finish it, like a single player game, I'm pretty much. It's very seldom. It's only that's why Evercade I like because there is replayability in a lot. The majority of the arcade and early generation console games because they're more arcadey, more score chaser or time chaser stuff like that. So, but modern games I tend not to go back to.
Yeah. It just kind of depends. So for me, because like as far as like completing games and all like sort of Iana or whatever, I've spent a few hours in that, but I was perfectly fine like stop playing that just to play the new cards. Like that excited me more. I'll probably will go back to that at some point. Just for me, like it kind of depends. Like if I feel like a game is like mental work, then sometimes I'll take a break. It's difficult because I love mindless fun like beat 'em ups, but I want something that involves some thinking. But Duke is a good balance, right? Because it's a platformer, but you have to get like items and things and all that. I was like, ouch. Yeah, I would say play it because like the remake they did so much. Not only like I'll even the remaster. I'll even fire to say that like Blaze set the standard of how a remaster should be. Like they still kept it 2D, so they improved the graphics. They made it widescreen. They gave it music, and they added smooth scrolling, right? Because if you remember, like a lot of the older PC games, like were kind of like very choppy for platform, and for platformers, and they fixed that. So,
well, it should be. It's completely remade.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would say if it's like Blaze set the standard because this kind of thing has been done over and over and over again already.
Yeah, but it has. But like, I'll give you an like the D&D like Mystaria ports that like you can play on Steam. They literally just like ported them over. They didn't add.
Well,
any
yeah, those are
enhancements.
ports. I'm thinking of like there's I want to say there's an R-Type remake where you could switch back and forth between the old graphics and the new. There's a Wonder Boy game. I can't remember which one. Like the Monster Trap, I think it is.
Halo set the bar for that with the remakes on the Master Chief Collection. You just hit one button, you go between the new ones and the old Halos. That for me was
I assumed
the first time I ever saw that.
I assumed you could do that with these Duke Nukem remasters. Yeah. Can you do that with these Duke Nukem remasters? Hit a button and flip back and forth between.
Yes.
So it's the same thing. So
yes.
They've met the standard. They haven't set the standard.
Yeah, because Halo Master Chief Collection set that standard. In my opinion, I don't think a game ever did that before.
Like Alex Kidd, but like I guess once you
Alex Kidd did it after Halo for sure. Yeah. Way to go, Julian.
I wouldn't even say that the Halo was.
Oh, I don't know if it's first, but that's the first time me as a gamer remember. Touching one button and I'm like, oh, I'm playing original Halo. Oh, I'm playing remastered Halo. That was like epic to me.
R-Type Dimensions is the one. Yeah. I'm thinking of.
But they dude, I mean, I can't remember the last time of seeing a port where they like they didn't go like all 3D. They didn't make it weird. Like they didn't make it weird or anything. They did what needed to be done. I don't know. It's
we'll see. Even like I think everybody just needs to wait until they play it themselves and judge it, right? Like I don't want to build up the Dukes too much in my mind because I don't want to get in there and just like, oh, it's not what I expected because they're going to be games of the era, right? Like they were made 20-something years ago, so they're going to have that type of era design, and that's not for everyone, right? Like, so like I grew up in those eras, so I appreciate it, and I know that the flaws of them. But that's what I said during my Goodbye Galaxy. It's like it's refreshing to play retro-inspired games and retro games that look retro, but were designed by modern game designers because it's the best of both worlds, and that's why the two dual carts kick ass because it is better game design now, like 100% better game design. You think games that were designed in the 80s are the best? No, those game designers did what they could with the knowledge and time and technology they had. They didn't like Pitfall 2 is a perfect example. Crane said if he was limited by the power of the technology and he hated that, right? So like certain technology couldn't show he's overworld. So anyway, excited for Duke. Should be fun.
Okay, actually, the R-Type Dimensions beat the Halo
I
Master
haven't
Chief
played
Collection.
R-Type Dimension. Is
Yeah,
that
well,
good?
it beat it by 5 years. So,
Beat what by 5 years?
Halo Master Chief Collection and R-Type Dimensions was the first time I
Okay,
remember
cool, yeah.
the game
Oh,
slipping back and forth.
So
I
I
just
would
didn't
say
know
that
which one
Halo
came
was the
out first.
first mainstream game to do it. Like popular, because R-Type is popular in the retro community, but there's nothing compared to like Halo, right? For brand recognition.
Well, I mean, that could be considered a different community altogether.
Yeah. But I mean, like Halo is like, I mean, Halo, right?
Yeah.
I'm more familiar with R-Type.
But it's see
Yeah,
for
but
me
you're
it's
just being devil's advocate. Man.
like it's interesting like with like I feel like you something great like using limitations. For me though the issue that I have with like a modern games kind of I feel like with a lot of movies is now they have like too big budgets and they just focus on the graphics and everything and they kind of like lose track of the essence. But something like Good Boy Galaxy, like they designed it to play like the restriction to play on the GBA. So like, but they weren't but to your point, but they weren't limited by like modern programming tools. So yeah, no, that game is good. The characters, I mean, the graph, the story, yeah.
Time Eternal. I think Pitfall 1, Pitfall 2 would be awesome. I'd wish if they ever got it, include Pitfall 3, the one that's
The
on
Mayan Adventure?
PlayStation. The PlayStation 1 version is much better than most people remember. I love that version of Pitfall.
Yeah, if they could do a Pitfall collection, you could do a bunch of them.
And you can even get the NES Pitfall. I mean, it's different, right? It feels
Super
like
Pitfall, yeah.
Super
I mean,
Pitfall.
nobody's
You
going to
get
like
that
it, but why
one.
not?
There's a bunch, like there's the Super Nintendo Pitfall, but I like the PlayStation one because that's kind of, I think, the first time it went 3D. And it's just a fun
that
game.
one. Okay, I
Yeah.
was thinking the Mayan Adventure was on PlayStation. Maybe it was, but there was a 3D one. That's the one you're
the
talking
3D
about.
one. I'm trying. Where's my Pitfall games? That should be written down.
Didn't Bruce Campbell do the voice in that one?
I can't remember.
I don't know. Yeah, but it's the whole like it's like the whole like Activision like license. So yeah, who bought Microsoft? Yeah. I don't know.
Pitfall
So
3D Beyond the Jungle.
Yeah, Beyond the Jungle. Yeah. Super. It's a fun game, and it's like a little puzzle elements. It's just I mean, it is like an early PlayStation game, right? So Yeah, Pitfall 2 is amazing. Like I absolutely like Pitfall 1 is the nostalgia grab for me because I was like I can remember borrowing it until I got my own collection for playing my Gemini.
Pitfall Harry Jr. was voiced by Bruce Campbell. That alone is the reason to get it.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised you don't own it. But like Pitfall 2 now. Pitfall 2 is just it's just a great one of the best sequels to an original game.
And it's like one of the few games you can't play on the 2600 plus. It's like
but I have the Game Station, and I also have Pitfall 2, and I also have a Gemini, so I'm good with that. I can play Pitfall 2 all over the place, and I have it on my 5200. So I have like tons of versions of it.
Yeah. So yeah, bring back these Evercade. Now the one thing I will say, since I have got these new carts, I have not turned on my Steam Deck. So that tells you anything like how much I've been playing and how kind of excited I am to have this overload. Tuesday I will turn it on since the Atari 50th is getting 12 new games, but that's about it.
What games are they getting?
We don't know. What they teased some icons, like they put some basketball hoops. They put like a space gun. So I'm hoping
it's probably the license they picked up after they shipped that collection. What license did they get? I don't know. They picked up a license, so
I'm hoping we get the arcade version of Berserk. To be honest, that would be great because that doesn't emulate that doesn't really emulate on CoinOps X. So
yeah, that's what I'm thinking with the Atari 50. I'm betting one of the 12 games is going to be Berserk because they now own the license to that.
Yeah, well, I hope the arcade though.
But I'm willing to bet it's going to be the 2600 version though.
Probably. Fine, I can play it officially, but. But it won a retro achievements though. That's the sad.
Because that was released by Atari, and I think Stern might have just been a really tiny footnote in that, licensed by Stern probably.
Yeah. You like Demons of Astroborg better than Astrobro? I find Astrobro so much better than Demons of Astroborg, even though Demons is good.
They're two different games.
One to answer Jillian's question. Okay, I like a. Good Boy Galaxy is awesome. I did get frustrated with sometimes losing my weapon or shield or something like that because I ran over something. So they artificially kind of gate you in some areas, which is cool. But I must say, Astro Bro is probably, if I spend more time with it, it's going to probably be my favorite. just because you can choose between 3 classes, and anyway, it's just really cool.
Dude, those are so good, and I like how they push it to the limits, and both of those games too. If you notice, like the resolution's like a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I was playing one of them in full screen and didn't mind it at all. I was switching between full screen. So anyway, I got the Good Boy Galaxy videos up on the channel, and I just put up the Astro Bro one, so that's on the channel.
So I actually just bought a copy of Pitfall 3D.
Did you really? I'm surprised you don't own that.
I wasn't on my radar at all. Then you mentioned it. I was like, wait a minute, didn't Bruce Campbell do the voice in there? And I was gotta buy it. And it was only $10. So
yeah, no. But yeah, it's hard. It's like I'm gonna try to finish both of those games during the Christmas holiday, so that's my goal. I'm putting Final Fantasy 14 on hold for a while, so I'll probably play those 2 games.
But your tradition.
I'm stuck in an area and I don't really feel like going back and spending any time with it. So I think my first week of vacation will be those 2 Evercade games, and then maybe there. Yeah, I'm still playing it, but I don't think I'll finish an expansion this Christmas holiday, unfortunately. It's gonna take me 20 years to finish that game.
For me, what I like about this is I'm glad we didn't have to wait till the end of December. I like that you have all the games and you can choose what you want to play. Especially from a content creation standpoint, it's great because then I can kind of look and decide what I want to release. Then I've got like a lot of content, that I'll be able to do until the next set of cards. So for me, this is great. I wouldn't mind if they did this next year. What I would like Blaze to do is be on schedule. Just stick with the 12 carts a year. Every 2 months, give us 2 carts so we get that free shipping, and just stick to that on time. Like that.
How many carts did they release this year?
14, I think.
14. They released 14 carts this year, and like 80% of them came out in the last 3 months of the year.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
At least you can pre-order them, spend your money earlier in the year to just so you're not asking somebody to spend $300 in a month.
Next year's. Spread it out. Make it like 1 or 2 releases a month. That's
what I just said at start of the show. 1 a month would be awesome.
I like the plan of every 2 months have two carts, because then like Video Games Plus gives you like free. They give you free shipping, and I really I like that. Or I don't know if they'll do 1 a month free shipping, but yeah, they need to do that because my wife was like, we just bought cards. You have more? I'm like, yeah, sorry. So yeah, space. Yeah.
What was really funny was the fact that I got the Duke Nukem carts after the Good Boy Galaxy and Astros, because they're numbered. Like I got them in reverse order, the way they're numbered.
So Crow, I was watching your unboxing for the Atomic Edition.
Yeah.
Because I was struggling whether I wanted to open mine, because I have a white one, right? And that's my main player. And I'm like,
yeah,
well, I want to do that. So I watched you unbox it, and you were having so much fun with it and enjoying it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to swap out my white one. And then I was like watching your video. I'm like, for the love of God, man, play a Duke game. Play a game on it. You didn't play any games with your collection.
That wasn't the point of the video.
I know, but I was.
I did put the cartridges in the system.
I know, but you didn't play it, and I was like,
I know. Why would I play it?
Rich did the same thing.
I have to play things. I have to play things in the order they came out.
He did the same thing. If you watch Retro Rob, he kind of did both. He played.
No, I tend not to watch much Evercade content. But yeah, I don't really go looking for.
Or hold on, yeah, like I didn't watch like John Hancock's videos on the Dukes until I played them myself.
I don't watch any of that stuff on Evercade stuff. Like, why would I? Like, I don't want to be influenced by other people.
Well, that's the thing is I'll sometimes go back and watch other people's videos after I've played the game.
Yeah, after you do your own is different, right? Yeah. Like I watch yours thinking, should I open this box or not? Like because I'm like, there's really no reason for me to open it because I already have a white one. So
you don't want to be spoiled. So let's go to polls here real quick, because I'm not going to avoid having this next thing being talked about a little bit, and it'll lead exactly into it. Because I asked our viewers, I said the Duke Nukem was going to be the next video, and I said after that, what would you like to see? You want the follow-ups on the Full Void and the computer? I said Full Void too, or computer, or the Super Pocket, and the Super Pocket won out, so that will be, you can kind of see here, and all I'm going to say, and I didn't even tell these guys to tease, like I didn't have to spend any actual like money for it, and that's why. And
yeah, but you haven't told us why.
I have it. In the next video, I will, but I don't.
So, but somebody had to know to give you it. So, was it a gift? Did they ask
No, it
you
wasn't a
ask
gift.
for
I
it?
can definitely. No, it wasn't. It wasn't a gift.
Was it a
gift,
surprise?
and I didn't rob a store. But
You
I
get
don't.
a 5-finger discount.
Yeah.
I'm just interested to hear what you think. Like, that's all.
Yeah.
I think
Next,
like,
we can talk about it. We can talk about it next week. Because we can talk about it next week. Because it's
I'm not gonna want to.
Because there's a story behind it, and I show proof. And I'll
just release your video, man. Jeez.
No, man. Gotta space things up. But no, I do appreciate everyone that voted in that. Now, the one thing, as far as I will say about playing it, when I so it was like before, like, what did I get it? Like, I think I got it like that Saturday or whatever. So I had like a day to go in and play it, and then like all the new cards came out. I will say now, when I've gone ahead and played it, it's kind of like I like that the fact that it's small, that it sits by my bed. The one thing that's interesting, I thought that like the screen, and when I do a follow video, I thought the screen would bother me the most. Actually, it's more the small form factor.
Well, that's what I was saying. When I was like, if you compare the screens like side by side, it's only a tiny bit smaller than it actually seems, because it's a different aspect ratio.
But I do miss, like, so funny that you mentioned that. I do miss the widescreen, like, even though like the GBA is tiny, like having that wider screen, like that really helps. But this still needs to be bigger. But the funny thing is, like, I wish I had a kit if they had like a little bit bigger of an LCD and a faceplate.
You'd need more than that. You'd need a whole new shell.
Yeah, well, no, you could get rid of the bezel. You could get rid of the bezel around it, and then you could do that. But no, I've tried some other games for the fun of it, like some of like the more like Game Boy type games and all that. But yeah, for me though, it's weird. Like it's more like like my hands cramp a lot more than they do like in Tate mode. So I don't know. I'll have to play with them more. But like it's
so you have the same problem with the Game Boy then, and Game Boy Advance, right? The SP and stuff, because it's basically, I think it's more comfortable than the SP.
So this is actually a little bit wider. So I think this might be a little bit more comfortable.
It can't be.
It can't. No.
It can't be wider.
It can't, does it? Because I had the bollocks to say, like, yeah, it's comfortable, but it's like it's almost the same as my
it's exactly the same
analog pocket. Yeah, it's the same thing. So you can't with respect say one is more comfortable than the other, because they're almost identical. And I would say, based on my experience playing the SP, this is actually the Taito is
so they're
more comfortable.
They're more comfortable. It's the thickness. The thickness is definitely there, but the problem that I have is positioning. So I've put my fingers there. Sometimes, like laying in bed, you can kind of like rest it on your chest. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like for me if it's slightly better and more comfortable than my analog pocket, which
really
that's why I like it. Yeah.
But
I mean, like I have an SP, I have all those devices, and I'm like, I find it more comfortable than the SP. But probably I don't think any of them are super comfortable. The EXP is an amazing handheld. The original, actually, the original Evercade is probably the most comfortable handheld out of the Evercade line for me, because of weighting, size, thickness. It just feels like, for me, the best. Then it's the EXP. Then it's the Super Pocket. And I know what I'm talking about with handhelds.
Yes.
Like, I still even wish like the next, like I hope like the next for the price point that they're charging for this, I kind of wish that it was like a little bit bigger, and we had a little bit bigger of a screen, kind of compared to like some of the other handhelds out there. But we didn't,
You know what you could get? You could make yourself a magnifying accessory.
Yeah,
like
get an
for
adapter.
the original Game Boy.
Oh, when are you releasing your video? I just want to schedule some time for me and Crow to do a reaction to your video on our show.
Yeah, he wants to know if you're releasing it before the end of the day tomorrow.
No, it'll be. I mean, it'll like Wednesday at midnight.
Okay, so good. Well, next week, Crow, we'll have a reaction to Ed's video. So not tomorrow, next Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah. But I'm going to do a follow-up. The one thing that I will let and even my complaint with the EXP, we kind of talked about this. They need to adjust the volume settings. This one is like twice as loud because it goes mute. And then like literally when I boot this thing up, I have to put my finger over the speaker. Like that startup sound is like so obnoxious. I'm like, why did they do that?
It still blows my mind that it says the first thing it says when you boot it up is Blaze and then Hyper Megatech.
Yeah.
What was the point of Hyper Megatech if you're going to put Blaze on it?
I think Blaze is the company, Hyper Megatech is the brand. So it's like a video game publisher first, and then it's the developer, and then it's the like all the licenses, like if they're using Havoc physics or something like that.
It's utterly confusing to me. I don't know why.
Yes, hey, look, we've been down this road. We agree.
Yeah. You know what? They should have called it an Evercade Junior.
They could have. I would have loved that name, by the way.
Been,
I think you're absolutely, or Evercade Light.
Yes.
Evercade
what
Mini.
I might. Now, the one thing and again, when I spend more time, I will say, like, if we're like for quality of buttons and D-pad, like it's definitely different. Like, it's not as like clicky as the OG. And like one thing I don't know if you guys noticed about the D-pad. Try playing something like Food Fight where you have to do a lot of diagonals. It doesn't like if you move like for platformers and all the games on it, it handles well. But if you move it around in a certain way, like your character won't move. It's
the well, that's not necessarily the controller so much. That could be the way it's programmed. But the diagonal, I find it got a nice roll on the diagonal.
Yeah, I don't recall having problems with diagonal. I'm playing mostly Kadash, so I don't really know.
EXP actually, it's like the same D-pad. It's
not at all.
Smaller version. It's just a smaller version of the EXP.
Like the EXP is like really smooth. Like the EXP is unique. It's different than the VS. It's different. Like it's
not as clicky. The EXP is not as clicky. It got better roll, but it's bigger, right? I don't know. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I'll have to spend. Yeah, but definitely like it's kind of like again. I'll do another follow-up video when I spend. But it reminds me a lot of like Arcade 1-Up, and that I feel like this was designed more for kids, smaller hands, smaller fingers. Like for a kid, this is great, but
Well, this is meant more to, again, it's a super pocket. It's meant for anybody that wants to put it in their pocket and carry it around with them all the time.
It's an entry device, right? It's a shelf hanger. It's something that you go into a store. It's by the checkout. It's $50. It'll probably get reduced down to $30 in a year or so. Like I feel that's where it lives.
Yeah, $30, $40 very at most.
Yeah. I think right now at 50 US, I think it's 50, right? It's 49 or 59?
It's 59.90.
59. Yeah, I think ideally it needs to be in that 40 to 50 US range because it's like $80 Canadian, right? So it's not cheap.
Now, what I might do to make this more pocketable is like with our EXP special editions, we did get a screen protector. I thought about if I could find a way to like cut it down, like I might put it over like this screen.
Wait. You're just talking about making it bigger. Now you want to make it smaller?
No. Just because like if you want the whole point of this, like to bring it with you to put in your pocket, I would worry about the screen being scratched because they don't have a case that fits this. And I've seen some people post.
There is a case. There is a case I specifically saw for this.
No, but it defeats the purpose of the Super Pocket. And I'll tell you what, like there's a brand like they make cases like for Switches and Steam Decks that like and other handhelds that like fit it exactly. If you're going to put it in a bigger case, then you might as well take the OG Evercade because it's not going to be as pocketable. So I might put a screen protector on it, cut my EXP down. Then you could put it in your pocket. Otherwise, I've seen people like, get those bigger cases. But then I'm like, and like all these games, and for me that defeats the purpose. If I'm going to do that, I'd rather just bring one of my other Evercades. Like the point of this is just put it in your pocket. I don't know. We'll have to see. Oh, and the back buttons, these should be raised. Like you're never gonna play a game and use these back buttons. Like, oh my God.
Actually, you could. There are some games where they're not like not
you
Street
don't
Fighter,
want to,
but like a game like Worms Armageddon, those buttons work fine.
Yeah, but yeah, it'll be interesting. I need to spend a little bit. That's why I said I played this at night. I do like how I don't have to have a stand. I can just kind of set it. I can just kind of like set it down. And all and all that. I wish you could buy more blanks though. Like I wish they would sell like a 5-pack of just like blanks to put in devices. That's Otherwise, I've had to use like other broken carts or like duplicates of carts. But yeah, the one thing I will say.
How often are you just have nothing in your Evercade?
I never have anything because like I don't want dust and shit to get in there.
So if you weren't worried about dust, you'd usually have nothing in your Evercade.
So no. So here's the dilemma with that, right? So like for me, like when I get my new carts, if I put a cart in it, then I have the dilemma of now I have to take the cart out, let's say of like the EXP, because I can just close the VS, and I have to put it back, or I have to put in the booklet. Like I just don't want to set it down. With the blank, I can just kind of toss it to the side because from like my play style, like lately I've mainly been playing the new collections on the VS. But sometimes later in the evening, I will play it on the handheld, and I like the flexibility of taking them in and out. I do like that this does have that same click sound when you put in the carts. So yeah, what I'm curious about, I wonder if the next iteration of the handheld will be this form factor, but be like bigger. That might be cool, or maybe they'll continue with that form factor. I definitely want a bigger screen though. I hope the next handheld has a bigger screen because getting older, eyes and all that.
Watch them come out with a 3-inch screen
Okay.
or 2.5-inch screen.
Micro.
Yeah, like Game Boy Micro.
Yeah.
But I don't know what. I don't think I think the next set of hardware is going to be like a multicade or something like that.
Like an arcade thing?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting because then you plug the cartridges in.
Yeah, 10 slots or 20 slots.
Because that's the problem with the arcade 1-up machines is you're limited to the number of games on it. And I have a couple
never
of them.
got to that at all.
I have a couple of them where there's only 2 games on them.
Perdster Motorsport.
Oh, I'll be right back.
I'll make a note of that. Yeah.
I wonder how successful he is at selling those. Like how many people are want blank carts?
Well, see, the problem is like I feel like on Etsy they would like sell them for like they'd be like way too expensive for what they are. They'd sell them for like $20. I've seen them sell like blanks like for the analog pocket, and I'd be like, geez.
Well, the people that bought the analog pocket, they got a lot of money to burn. So
yeah, I guess that's that's kind of the thing.
Oh, he probably 3D prints them. Now that I thought about it.
But yeah, no, I don't want to spoil it for my video because like I created a short. I've created like some hype around it, and I go in and you just see and for grips and all that. Oh, that's pretty cool. Like for the EXP, that might be.
Yeah, I've seen grip handles for Evercades.
Yeah, but for me though, as far as like for controls and maybe because like my prep like the VS controller, like I love that. Like that's like that
really?
that D-pad is good. What's interesting, the D-pad is good. The buttons feel a little bit mushier than the OG Evercade, but that's fine. Like that D-pad is so good.
It's a fine controller, but to be honest, if I need
plays well on the EXP and widescreen,
I use this. There's nothing that really beats this.
8-bit dough, yeah. Super pocket. That's funny. Super pocket grips. But see that. So what's kind of funny though, if you have like the grips and then like you put like a magnifier on it, then I'm like, well, then that's I don't know. Yeah, but I get it though because like the games are kind of like locked to this cart. And that's like. I do have like just before bed. It is fun to play something like Bubble Bobble, where you don't have any where you just get like 3 lives and just to kind of see like how far you can get, and all that.
Have you heard of the Super Handy Boy, or just the Handy Boy?
No, it sounds dirty.
It's for the Game Boy. That's what you want to do for the Super Pocket.
Funstock can do a bundle with Totem 30K1 Tate grips. Yeah, maybe for the EXP because having that like in Tate mode and it's light. It's definitely like light enough and whatnot.
Here, I'm putting a link to it. That's the Handy Boy. That's what you want for the. That's what you want for the Super Pocket.
I would like a case that would just fit this like exactly where it doesn't add any thickness. It's like mold, but I don't think people are going to make it for that. So that's why my solution might be, hey, just get the EXP, the screen protector that we got as a bonus with the limited editions for being late. If I could have a way to cut it down exact to size and then just stick that on it, then I would feel good about putting it in my pocket if I need to. But yeah, it could be the grips because that is interesting that this is the exact same, but I don't. Yeah.
Did you look at that link I posted?
What link?
For what Ed wants for the Super Pocket.
I'm opening.
I put it in the private chat.
Yeah, that's perfect for Ed.
But dude, that defeats the whole purpose though. I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that whole like, really.
There you go. Solves all your problems.
Now, I kind of I kind of wish that if Evercade if it had been out like when my daughter was young, when she was just like 4 or 5, like, yes, like this is the perfect device to give your child to get them hooked on retro. Like, oh my god, like a kid would love this. For that reason, but can't turn back time for that. Yeah, keyboard. We've talked about that, but yeah. As far as for gaming, I love having all these options jumping in, and I think I've been able to be disciplined now since I've done my first initial impressions of all the games, and I've in some cases recorded that raw footage or I've made those videos. Now I can focus and be like, okay, I've got to beat Duke 1, and then after I beat Duke 1, do I go to Duke 2 or do I go to Good Boy Galaxy? I have been jumping in and out of Duke 3D since I've already beat that, like a while back. But the one thing I will say with this, like playing like something like Kadash, for instance, I'm like, man, that I would have loved to be able to play on the VS. So like I can't help think that. But it's just like the Capcom collection, all that's restricted. But if they did re-release all those carts, I would, all those collections, I would rebuy them in cart form. Like no question. But I don't think we're gonna see that
anytime soon. I mean, they could. Those are things that could be announced. They're not out of the question. They're just not available now.
What?
Like Capcom collection, a Taito collection.
In cart form, yeah.
Yeah, I think
in a cartridge
build on both of those. So yeah, might as well stop talking about it. I don't think you're ever going to see that. I mean, they'll of course officially say, "Yeah, you never know." Yeah, we know.
I'm gonna say you never know.
Oh yeah, but that's
unless they specifically say never.
That's the easy answer. I'm more definitive. I'm just saying, no, it's not.
Like Evercade harder, and that could be yeah.
Yeah, well, come on now.
Yes, of course.
Dan Nastic.
I think next year.
I almost. I very nearly rebought the Duke Nukem collections again. I thought about it.
Why? They got the Peggy logo?
Yeah, because I got the Peggy logos on mine.
Oh, mine doesn't, because I ordered them from Video Games Plus.
Well, I had to because that's the only way I was going to get the Atomic Edition. So that's the reason I didn't is just because not all of my collection is non-Peggy. So I was like, okay, right. You know what? If it was, I would have rebought them. But
10 years from now, when there's no such thing as an Evercade, that'll be your collecting thing, variants.
No, man. I try not to collect all the variants. There's very few things where I'll collect all the variants of them.
No. I'd have to have a passion for it. It'd be like, let's say if I decided, hey, I'm just going to collect every version of Tetris, then that's something that I would care about.
But the thing is,
aren't they all the same?
Hey, you. I mean, like if I was going to get it, I want to get all the Nintendo ports. I want to get all the PlayStation. If I was going to do something crazy like that, then
get all the arcade ports.
Yeah, just that's.
Get all the arcade cabinets.
Yeah. Well, no, not all the cabinets.
That's something.
Yeah.
And not only that, you'd have to get two different versions of the Atari one because there was an upright version and a cocktail cabinet version of.
Well, see, yeah, it just depends how crazy. Like with Evercade, I'm like, listen, I don't care if they're Peggy, if they're not Peggy, as long as I have the cart. Just like Full Void, I don't care like the special edition. It's like as long as I have a version of all the carts, I'm happy with that. Like I don't. Yeah. Because then you could even go to some of the printings on some of the carts are darker red than others. I'm like, depending on what printer they use, that's who cares, right?
The Oliver Twins collections, both copies I have, both have. I can't remember if they both don't have the Peggy or do, but the logo on the spine is different for both of them.
Lord Arspach said he completed the get some. Well, so like updates, like as far as like there won't be like DLC or anything, but there's like like if we had with Wi-Fi, but there is the speedrun mode, so they've got that is they'll tell you what the par for each level, like what the par for each level is, and that's I'm like, what, it took me 10 minutes to beat, but that's you can and they even say like you can explore everything, you can form the whole word Duke, you don't have to, or you can try to get a score, like they offer a lot of replayability, like like for sure, but yeah, and it'll be interesting to see a year from now will they get PC releases.
Okay, now I gotta check because I don't recall if my Oliver twins have Peggy on them. I can't remember though.
Or Peggy only. Yeah, well, it's just like the Namcos are Peggy only, right?
I can prove you wrong. There's no Peggy logo on my Oliver twin collection.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Let's see if I can actually get that focus. There you go. It's no Peggy logo.
Yeah. But it's the Namco cards,
like
right?
That.
It's the
I don't know for sure because I swear I've seen images of people selling them like on eBay without Peggy logos.
Oh.
So I don't know if there is a cartridge that was only released with the Peggy variant.
Yeah, the Toxo. Yeah, you're right. It was released to raise money for a museum. So
yeah, I wonder if they'll get like another one of those next year. My Conkerts was originally to have all the arcade code, then bought every yeah. For me, it's like I want to get everything, and I'll admit it's FOMO. I'm like I don't want to, good or bad experience. I don't want to miss, I don't want to miss out on it.
You didn't get the Atomic Edition, right, Ed?
No.
Is that was only limited to X amount of copies, right? The Atomic Edition?
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, that was limited.
Did they sell out, I wonder?
Yes. Dude, they sold out like in 24. Like the second day that I checked, it was gone. Like within 48 hours.
I think like after watching Crow's video, I'm actually kind of impressed that they put the attention on the with the music and the menus that they did. Like it wasn't just in a hardware reskin. It was actually they did stuff inside, which makes me definitely want to use that as my main player now.
I like all the reason I like it so much is because I like the yellow, and it's not necessarily black, but it's like a
yellow and gray look together, right? Yellow and gunmetal.
Yeah, I really like that look. Yellow is my favorite color, so I had to get it. And the fact that the light glows yellow all the time, perfect.
Yeah, so yeah, it does look good. Yellow and gunmetal it always looks good, right? So.
Well, that's what's funny. Like I know that I was the oddball. Like I know like a lot of people like fell in love with that color scheme, and I was like, no, I don't.
Hey,
like
dude,
it.
Well, somebody commented on my videos that they really wanted it, but they hated the color scheme so much that they didn't buy it.
That could have been me. I mean, I no, that could have been me. Like I really did not like the color scheme. I'll be honest. Like. But the thing that I love about that with Duke Nukem is I felt like that was something to really generate a lot of hype, bring the community together. I mean, that sold out faster than any other Evercade product, maybe even some other products. Like, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they did the exact same thing in an EXP version of it, and I think that would sell out, just as fast. But I wonder if they would include any games with that. Probably not. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it would be. What if they released an Evercade EXP, but instead of the Capcom games, they had the Duke Nukem games built in?
Yeah, it's like now the other thing too. Like, keep in mind, like with the purple one, like that was also like at a time too where we didn't know how many special editions. That was like the first one, so that And for me, that's I kind of jumped on it. It resembled a GBA, and it had it was nice having that better screen, even though I didn't know at the time having that little bit better screen for a while. Of course, now it doesn't really get as much love to go back and play that. But yeah, the last thing I will say, the Super Puck, I hope they go back to this Switch style, like that, like they need to.
Except it's backwards.
Yeah, I know that's weird.
It's like it feels like it on should be to the left and off. Like it feels like it's just on should be to the right if you're looking at it, and off should be to the left, but it's reversed. To turn it on, you have to click it to the left, which I think is just weird.
Yeah, it did seem a little bit backwards to me, but not enough for me to care.
Agree, but
I care.
yeah, I mean, again, to each their. Now, the only thing I thought that was weird is that you couldn't just buy the controllers by themselves, like with the VS. Like that, I thought was a miss because I know that a lot of people would have easily ordered. Like that would have been a quick way for them to get additional money. People would have ordered 2 more controllers.
But then it doesn't make the collection as special.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It doesn't make it limited anymore, right?
But they did that with the limited VS though. I don't have it.
That is true. You could have bought the limited edition VS controller separate, but I think didn't they only include one controller, one black controller with that? Oh no, you know why they did that? They included 2, but since the VS was brand new at the time, and one of the features was you could play with 4 people, they had to have a way for you to get 4 controllers for that.
Yeah, I think that's why they did it.
Yeah,
but it's not so much a novelty anymore now that it's like 2 years later.
Well, see that
so.
Funny. See, that was the other thing too. Is that like that's kind of how I felt. Like, okay, we see, we've seen this, but again, I'm glad that it was there because the community like that grabbed a lot of attention. What they didn't just choose. They didn't do kind of like what Analog Pocket is doing. Is let's re-release these and change all the colors. No, they put a theme behind it. Like you said, Pete, they had the background music. Although, yeah, it is kind of like I could relate to what you said. Like I do like that. I do like that music, but I do like the original music. So I don't know. I'd be kind of torn for putting that in. And at some point I wouldn't mind a second VS just so I wouldn't have to move. Back and forth. Although I can grab one of the other OG Evercades, or maybe at some point I'll get the EXP with the
which Duke Nukem game did you say didn't work? It didn't boot.
So the second Duke cart, not the first game, the Babes or whatever that were. The second game, it would start to load the FMV, like the movie intro. Then it would go back to loading, and then it did load. The third game on there, it would load the full video sequence, but if you pressed any button, it would go back to loading. And I timed it like after 2 minutes, it would never load. Or you could watch the whole intro sequence, but then it would never load. So it was a weird.
It was
and I've heard that like those other Dukes are like Tomb Raider, and they're not that good. But being that I paid the money for the cart, like I want it.
So you don't remember exactly which one it was?
If you put it in, I don't remember but like going in order. Like the first one worked, the second one worked.
Time to Kill.
Weird. It was the third.
I guess it depends on what order you're, because that's the PlayStation one, I think.
Yeah, that's the third. Well, there's 2 PlayStation ones, I believe.
Well, not in the second cartridge. Is Land of the Babes a PlayStation one?
I thought it was. Yeah. That's right. That has the advanced version, yeah. But that's just kind of like a PSA, like test all your carts. The other weird thing is like with the Good Boy Galaxy cart wouldn't work in my VS in slot 1. It would work in everything else, but then now it works. Now it does work in slot 1. So I don't know because it's I think that was just kind of more like
I've had that. I think it's just a connection issue because I've had that before where I put the cartridge in several times and then I swap the slot and then it works. I think it's just you just clean the cartridge.
Yeah, maybe it works just by doing that. I know you guys have a hard out here in a few minutes.
I'm playing soccer on Tato right now. I love this game. Best sports game on the collection.
Soccer?
It's funny,
probably the best sports game on the Evercade.
Wait, what soccer games on here?
I think I may have said for my first impressions, I'm like, yeah, that's there because of Sean. Like Blaze has to put a sports game like on everything.
Yeah, but have you played it? It's freaking awesome.
A little bit, but it's not like it's for me to like in general, like sports games aren't something that like I'm dying to play unless they have like unless they're like NBA Jam or Mutant League Hockey.
Football Champ, man.
Oh, awesome. Football Champ. Okay.
Yes.
It is awesome. I
it threw me off. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, European.
You can knee him in the groin, punch him in the face. It's awesome. Just like real soccer. There's no magic spray, though.
Just like real soccer if there weren't any referees.
Yeah, pretty much. Cool.
So yeah, it would be my first impressions with this. Now, the one thing I will also say due to the comfort, like normally, like if I could have played this more comfortably, it would have been over an hour video. But like, and I kind of explained this, but like behind me, like that's where like I do my unboxing. So I'm sitting there like either on my knees or in the chair hunched over, and just to capture footage was like extremely uncomfortable. Like, so
that's a you problem.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'd wish that there was like a micro USB just to capture footage. Like that's, but you know, I know that what
I think most people aren't worrying about capturing footage, though.
No, they're not. They're not.
I have no problem capturing footage.
But it kind of made me realize when I watch other YouTubers videos that play, maybe your setup's better, Pete, that play games in a handheld, like they don't play for a long time. I need to figure out how to do it at my desk here. Then I could be more comfortable. That's where, you know, where I capture everything else. But it was kind of like nice. Is that how you do it? Like you're able to like sit comfortably and just kind of.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm a pro when it comes to handheld gaming, dude.
True. Yeah,
I've been handheld gaming for almost 40 something years, right? I know.
I mean, we all have. I mean, yeah, at a Game Boy, but but when I play stuff though, like I hold it like here in front of me. It's like weird, like putting it like flat down to.
You're right. After
you've had a lot more.
Wait, what the hell's going on here?
You've had a lot more experience with that, but yeah. So that'll be what I'll have next week. And
it did a really weird thing. Duke Nukem Time to Kill. I let the opening intro run, and then after it was done, it went back to the Evercade menu, but this said it was loading.
Yes.
And then it came back into the game.
Yes.
That's weird.
Okay, now do the third one.
It is the third one.
Time to Kill. Okay. There's the second one, the middle one, the other one that's the other PlayStation one that's not the Game Boy Advanced. Yeah. And see, mine never comes back after loading that intro.
Well, it did on mine, but maybe it's because I'm playing it on the Atomic Edition VS. And
the special one that you had to reset your firmware on.
Yeah,
like you had to reset your firmware for it to detect your wireless network.
Yes.
Yeah, and on the Super Pocket, like it wouldn't even load. So they were just like which is kind of a good.
Oh yeah, this is an interesting test.
All right, guys. Well, I guess before we call it anything else you want to plug? You know what I'm doing next week.
Like I said, I got Good Boy Galaxies up on a channel. I just put up Astro Bro and Demons of Astro Bro is up in early access for my channel members. So yeah, go check them out.
Oops. Anything you want to plug real quick?
I've been putting up videos like crazy. What's that? Oh,
Pico Collection.
No, actually, I have 2 more videos for that I need to edit. I played Motor City Patrol and Stanley to Search for Dr. Livingston. I have the footage. I need to edit those into videos. But for content-wise, it's all pinball for a while because so much Pinball M came out. There's 5 tables in that. And that video, the look at Pinball M is probably my number 1 video for like a long time. It's already like over almost 1,000 views, and it hasn't even been a day. And then Pinball FX later and within the next week is putting out like at least 9 or 10 tables, new tables that I might have to go through too. And that'll be, and then once I get through all that, then I can get back to Evercade stuff.
Yeah. Ian, yes, we're of course games and stuff. So come check us out on Games and Stuff tomorrow. Yes. We talk everything.
I won't have to delay I won't have to change the time on that tomorrow.
Okay, so 6 p.m. PST tomorrow night. Games and Stuff with Pete and Crow.
Check that out.
We talk everything, like literally everything.
Yeah, we talk about games and stuff.
Yep.
And I'll give Phantom Fiction channel member a plug. Yeah, check out his new book. It's out. So check that out.
Awesome. Phantom, you'll send me a link to that, and I'll plug it on the show tomorrow night. Unless it's like porn, and I'm not doing that.
right.
How to murder someone.
Cool. Yeah. Well, sorry, this one's a little bit short. Sometimes they go longer, but we try to balance.
Short. It's a freaking hour. That's long enough. I got a life.
It seems to work on the Super Pocket just fine.
Okay, so you're good. Yeah, and that's why I figured I had a bad cart. Hopefully I'll hear from DJ. I'll let you know about that.
Is there a special Evercast in the coming weeks? I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
they're all special.
They're all special.
Thank you. Yeah, they're all special. All right, everybody. Well, thanks so much for watching all of us. Subscribe to all our channels if you haven't. Crow, do you want to play anything before I play the outro that I usually do? Or are you like tinkering with?
Nah, he's doing stuff.
He's tinkering. All right, bye everyone.
Oh, Keanu Reeves, Canada's classic.